now Ruth is very kindly going to tell me how I've got it all wrong, and I'll take it further. And but I'd like to thank her very much for having given me this opportunity to try and put my thoughts together. I mean, it's really matter whether you agree with me or not. It's been very useful for me. You know that the best way to learn something is to try teaching it, because then you've got to make up your mind. So Ruth, yes.
Well, thank you. I think thanks on behalf of everybody here. You've been so generous with your time and with your thinking, and a real inspiration, I think, for us. But also a bit of a personal one for me, because I remember in the 80s when I first started learning about management and leadership, and it was all a bit of a kind of macho affair then in the NHS. And but Handy was compulsive reading. And you had a kind of big impact on me, mostly because there was hope. There was actually, Handy was bringing hope that things were going to be different. And actually they needed to be different, because I had 3 children under 5, I had a husband who had a career, who was as enthusiastic as I was. And we had to work it all out, but I kept believing that actually it was going to be different. And one of the things that I'm kind of interested in is, why isn't it more different?
I don't know. I mean, I had to give an interview to this chap from the Financial Times, and he was saying all these things 20 years ago, and it hasn't happened. And I said, I know, I don't really understand. I think people, it all seems common sense to me. People are not cogs in a machine in organizations. They're human beings. And human beings have all sorts of talents in them, if only they were allowed to release them. And human beings have families. I mean, you have a family, yourself, as I say to a manager. You needed to be there at times. And why can't you behave properly? And I do understand the world is frenetic and it's 24/7 and all this sort of stuff. But it is up to us to hold the world at bay occasionally.
And you made the point about, which was very powerful, I think, about what happens to the families, to the children who don't have that school life, and don't have those families. Because certainly in Relate, we see 2,000 counsellors across the country. The pressure on relationships is palpable. We feel it. Our sister organisations that are